I just hated the thick red dictionary.
Oh yeah, that one that can break you open. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
An iPad kid, I'm like, wow, what job is he gonna have? He knows more about scrolling to the next video than like anything that will help him get a job.
what the? It's like,
He says some iPad kid.
wait.
Better.
I know it's only the intro, guys, but like we got to hear.
Seeing an iPad kid, I'm like, wow, what job is he gonna have? He knows more about scrolling to the next video than like anything that will help him get a job.
Mind you, these are just kids. So
Okay.
so,
Oh yeah, they're high school.
Yeah.
High schoolers are kids. 3, 2, 1.
They let high school people just like that?
Right. Basically, all of them they said yes.
All right. So who would you say?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Because like most of them don't have kids.
Yeah.
Most of them don't have kids. Secondly, they're minors.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone who says that a high school student is not a kid, it's weird.
It is, but like I feel like you can still be a kid with the aspect of a grown man or a grown woman. Not saying like if it have the aspect of a grown man will outnumber your age. Like you're still a minor at the end of the day, but you can still be like mature enough to have a grown man or grown woman mentality to move like a grown person.
Right. But what was
Oh
that?
my bad. I'm just saying it depends on their demeanor and their attitude, how they carry themselves. So like you be like, all right, he's a kid, but he acts like a grown man or a grown woman.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know, but like, I'll be like an agree or like somewhere agree. I'd be like right there.
I've been a purple.
You know.
Yeah, cause cause thing is again, it's just like you don't know life. Okay, now like okay. Let me back up. There are some kids who grow up being the so called like adult in the house and such. They have a job and do X, Y, and Z, whatever, and then they go to high school and such.
Yeah.
I do understand that. Now, like there are some kids in high school who have kids and they got to like have like this mental mindset of being an adult and everything because like they not only they have to look out for themselves, they got to look out for they own children for the ones who have kids and such.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
but they all look like sophomore and freshmen. So
Yeah.
so like them saying that they actually are like adults, kind of weird. Anyway, I digress.
I feel like to say high schoolers in general are kids is almost like defeating the people who are in the minority. Like for people like me who have grown up more just mature for my age and I guess fitting more an adult mindset, I feel like I can't say for myself that I'm a kid because I definitely make adult decisions time and time again. I mean, there are people who still have the mindset of kids, but I can't say high schoolers in general are kids.
I feel like with high school, it's such a broad statement to say high schoolers because there's a giant difference between a freshman and a senior. Like it is, that's why like when they try to date each other, it's like, why is that 18-year-old trying to date the 14-year-old? Like it just doesn't make sense. I feel like it would be naive to ignore the fact that like, especially anyone who's a senior, they're about to be a legal adult.
I think kids need mentoring. That's how I see it. I mean, adults too need mentoring, but
They all 16. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I would say the dude in the back, Buddy Boy in the back.
Yeah.
I would agree with him because that's basically what we kind of just said.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Again, there is there is a difference from a senior and a freshman. There is a difference, but like, it's the fact that they got okay.
And
So
they're all 16 too, and sometimes not these generations of kids. They're like 6'3" in the scene, and as a freshman, and you won't even know that they're a freshman because how they act and how tall they look.
yeah, you're right. But like again, it's all about
It's-
that.
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
about that. Like, it's all okay. Come on.
I think kids need that extra help and that extra push. I've seen many kids who have been forced to be older or act older as they are to mature faster. That's why I went for agree.
I want to move.
You want to move? Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I
Talk
didn't
us
know if I
through. What are you
could.
thinking?
Well, I agree. I feel like there's just so many decisions, especially in high school, that we have to make that are not like kid-like, and they expect us to act a certain way. And also, like, the fact that we're even able to drive, how should we still be considered a kid?
Do you mind if I move? Yeah.
She's okay. Okay, why y'all moving back and forth? Okay. Again. She's 18. She is considered as an adult.
She can go to jail.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, like, like. Come on, man. Come on. Our first video, we actually discussing you talking about jail time.
He's old enough. What are you saying?
No, but it's just. All right, okay.
I moved.
You all moving? He's 15.
You see, that's that mentality of a child. Not mentality of a child, but they're like indecisive. You know, there are
indecisive.
There are grown people that's indecisive.
Oh.
But there's a lot of grown people who just know this is my first answer, and I'm gonna learn from this lesson. And not all L's are losses. You know.
And that's the whole thing. Like they are indecisive. I really do believe that is a child's mentality.
Yeah.
Because for me, well, you and I have a huge age gap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if I'm wrong or something, I'm gonna go stick to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You gotta learn somehow. So I was like, I'm out of this. Going back and forth is a waste of energy.
Yeah, but like it's just like they're not knowing the answer or what they actually or what they are being asked about. That is a child's mentality.
And you can still be like, "Hey, can you repeat the question?" Or like,
Something like that. Yeah, for real. But yeah. That's
it depends how you carry yourself. That's what I say.
yeah. It's just,
Moved because I feel like, especially at that 16 to 18 age, you're constantly planning for your future where it's actually difficult to live in your childhood. It's just kind of, you're unable to live as a child. So it's like, how can you consider yourself one when you're constantly planning for your adult life and future?
When I was a freshman, all the teachers around me always told me.
Okay, so see, I understand what he's saying, but like, I started thinking about my future, and I was like, almost halfway through my senior year.
mm-hmm.
To be honest, like my 11th grade, I was like, I want to do this, I want to do that. I know, but I was like, not saying I wasn't serious about it, but me personally, I don't get stressed out about a lot of things. So like, I'm saying kids can still have their fun,
Mm-hmm.
and have a good childhood, but and like there's a lot of kids who overstress things for literally no reason.
Yeah.
I'm like, you do have a future, and it's okay to stress about it, but as long as you just have a good grade and you graduate school, like I'm not saying like you don't need. Well, not nowadays. There's jobs out there that don't even need a GPA, a diploma, a high school diploma. There are jobs out there where like off the top of my head, I don't know. Well, I'll text you and see the picture. I don't know. A lot of people have moved and grew up different ways, and they can't talk for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I know me personally, I wasn't stressed out. I don't get stressed out. It's just I just say it is what it is. Whatever happens, it's my fault. If I messed up, I'm gonna take the blame for it and just keep it moving.
Nah, man. Like for me, like me growing up, I was always stressed out about certain things because like I don't know about you, but I was bullied in school.
Yeah, and plus I feel like we was us three. Well, our sister Cree.
Yeah.
So I feel like us three, we was all bullied. But I feel like you had more stress because you was a first child.
Yeah, true. And then like on top of that, like I didn't have anyone that I considered like a role model.
Yeah,
like
lean on or like, or how was this college? Like, stuff like that. I
get
what you're saying.
Yeah. Now, in our church we had people that I could ask on, but like I just didn't really like trust them because I didn't really trust any people. Like the only people that I only trusted, it was only our family, like mom and dad and us, everything for real. But yeah. I mean.
Me that I needed to prepare for my future. And I feel like, especially coming after online school and quarantine, I'm still living in that middle schooler mindset. I'm still basically like a kid living and preparing for my future, which I'm clearly not ready for.
I feel like kid is kind of a weird word.
Dude, during current quarantine. During quarantine, dude, I was never online. Like that first day of school, I was there. That was the easiest time of school I could possibly live in.
Yeah.
Like when I said there was like 10 kids in that whole school, dude, including me, that was the most easiest time. No, I'm just go here, wear this thick mask, and just hand my homework. Like I was a good testing student. I didn't get all A's like I was supposed to or like I wanted to. But like I turned in my work. I sat quiet. There was like 2 of us in each class I went to. And it was a breeze. Like it was like no stress about it. And then in that point in time in school, that's when I had the best grades probably in my whole entire life.
Really?
Yeah, I had like almost all A's because it was that easy. I just turned in work. I know I passed some tests and failed a lot of tests because the teachers like didn't like give up, but like, a lot of them like, all right, it's quarantine, so the school teaching is like going downhill almost. It was like whatever. Stuff like that. But I did my work though.
Yeah,
that was the easiest time of my life, to be honest.
I feel it. But like my thing is though, is like it. Well,
Bird. So like it's just kid and adult. And I feel like in high school, I kind of want to be thought of as a kid because it's kind of like, oh, he's a kid, right? It's like an excuse almost. Like you're allowed to mess up. I really can't like look at my classes full of 18-year-olds and say these are adults. Like I feel like now it's later and later we're turning into adults. I don't feel like we turn in. I mean, of course, there's people that have to pay bills at 16. But to say a high schooler is an adult, I feel like I like to know that I can grow so much more from that. Like, oh, I did that when I was a kid, not, as an adult.
Today's high schoolers have it harder than previous generations.
No.
Why would you say that?
Dude, they have... Well, okay, well... Should I tell them the school I went to? Because I don't get all like, location.
It's up to you.
All right, well, I went to a school that was like, my time... In his time, let's say in his time, right? There was barely any technology. And I'm guessing I was pretty hard. In my time, in my last year... Not saying you're an ancient. I'm saying my last year of high school when I was graduating, kids was getting iPads. They were getting MacBooks getting sent home to them, Chromebooks, electric textbooks, all these assistant like photomath, for example. Like I use it too.
Yeah.
But like they have it. They're not saying they have it so much easy, but they have more luxury of using these tools. This a pass a class. Like me, I had to sit there and study. Like I had to read a book. Boom, and I got it, went to sleep. I woke up. Hopefully, I remember it. But now these days, kids can like cut out a calculator and put their phone inside of a calculator and use their phone.
You guys be like engineers and
man, I'm like they find ways to like pass a class. I'm like, if you put that much work into cutting a calculator in half, why won't you just put it into just reading a book? I just say like. They have it easier.
It's been harder. Like I would say, the class be for you, and then you now. Sorry, the class be for you, and then your whole class. I feel like you guys had it the hardest. Because like through the whole quarantine, everything else. Like, not a lot of kids actually graduated on time. Nor they actually had the chance to have prom or actually walk whatever and such. Because I mean like prom isn't really important though for real. Well, me personally, I'm gonna let you care for it. But like for education wise, like I really would say like from back then, and then like maybe right now it's kind of hard. Because there's a lot. There's a lot of labels out there that really like pressure like young kids, young adults that like oh you gotta be in this certain way, you gotta act like this, you gotta dress, and that brings in a lot. That gives kids a lot of stress and such to actually like pressure in like. Forced out on like who you are, whatever and such, and then like from the whole like trying to find like a certain school after high school, so or trying to figure out what you need to do.
It's crazy too. I do agree with you that one. Even in my school, like kids had the opportunity to do their work online. But they thought, oh, since I'm online, I can just go freely. I can go to a party. I can drink. I can smoke. I can this, that, and the third. But, like, Then when graduation came, there was probably like 12 students that failed high school but still walked.
How did that work?
Even the time it was walking, me and my friend, we was putting him out. It was like, dude, that's a tough person who know that he had all Fs and he still passed high school.
Because of the quarantine.
Yeah, so I was like, that's what I was saying, because I was like, yeah, this is let them go. This is like handicap. I was like, all right. Well.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
And that's what I'm talking about. These guys are kids. I'm sorry. I had to say.
I was going to say, can you hurry up?
Yeah. It's the sounds of hurry the hell up.
I feel like now, our generation, we have more resources for help that we need, you know? And way back then, like mental health, that was like, they would put you straight to camp or like some conversion, stuff like that. But I feel like now there's just more resources. We have the internet, we have the media. Like, would you have wanted to send a pigeon to your friend instead of texting your friend? Like, you know, stuff like that. Like, would you want to have, you know, we just have it easier now.
What the hell is she talking about?
See, I'll say it's a whole different topic, but I don't know. I'll put a comment about that bird thing. It was a whole different topic.
Like I was going to agree with her about the mental health in the camp and everything, but like she just threw me off the whole pigeon.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Like, well, what?
Yeah, them birds are.
It's like Zeus.
Yeah.
You fly. You send pigeons to my school.
That's what I'm saying. Out of all birds, why a pigeon?
Like for me, I would agree like to like an eagle or something.
Yeah, or like our ant.
Why would I say that?
Because they're strong. Ants. Have you seen Ant-Man, the movie?
I feel like it's an in-between thing because I feel like social situations now are much better, but back then they were much worse. I feel like there was racism, teachers could beat their own kids, and I feel like now there's so much things that we cannot do, and I feel like it's for the better.
Can I move?
When I think about this question, I kind of like went to bullying and how much easier it is to get bullied nowadays, especially on social media. Because it's so easy to hide behind a screen, people say worse things. And I think that mental health, maybe it was just as bad back in the day, but because of social media, it's become more prominent and we see it everywhere. Another thing that I also thought about was you guys say that we have more resources, but don't you? Well, you don't have to agree. But I feel that the resources have kind of made us a little less smart. Because we're able to look up that, like, the answers to our test, or like, I don't know, everything's just so much more accessible that I'm not really learning.
Bro, this reminds me when Dad gave us that thick-ass dictionary.
Man, what?
Man, I remember, okay, the way we were in punishment, like, every time... It was summertime. He made us like go through no. It was the dictionaries and then it was the encyclopedias from like A to Z.
Man, what?
Somehow he had all the letters of everything.
Man,
so
I had to read a book called Mr. Encyclopedia Brown. Encyclopedia Brown. Dad, if you watch this, I know you know that book.
Oh, was it like yellow? It was like yellow and brown. And then like, yo, I don't know about you. But,
I hated that book, dude.
No, I actually liked it though too. I just hated the thick red dictionary.
Oh yeah, that one that can break it open. Yeah.
Do what Shu was saying. I do agree with her about how it's so easy to actually go find something. Mm-hmm. It's no excuse to actually fail in school. Mm-hmm. Like no excuse, because you who talking about our parents were in school, they had to go through books to actually go find the answers and such. For me, I just pull out my phone and yeah. So like from the whole standpoint of her actually like it's hard to actually go. No, it's not hard. It's easy to actually go find the answers and such. Like I do agree with her.
Yeah, and now these days most textbooks have the answers on the back of a textbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
in the index or like the last page of the textbook, you just open it, like the answer's like right there.
Yeah, because like I don't know how it was back when, but like they had like student versions and teacher versions and shit. And now like every single version, it's the same version almost for real, for real. So yeah, I do agree with her on that.
Learning as much as like my mom and dad did. So I kind of like sad that all our resources are so much more accessible.
Yeah, I know some dumb, people they're like, is it hot outside? And then they'll go to their phone and check the weather. Like, just go outside,
I feel like school right now is so.
I mean, nah, boy. Yeah, you're right. Just whatever. But like, it kind of depends on that. Like, later on the day, whatever.
Yeah, or like smelling rain. Like sometimes like these days I can smell when the rain, or like when it's like in the rain.
You can smell it too?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Because as a kid, I thought it was special because I was like, they don't know it's from rain.
Dude, you at the house, dude, and you be doing that to me, bro. I'm like, how does this dude? Next thing you know, I'm hearing the rain. I'm like, bro, he was right, bro. I was like, that's crazy.
He's like, God. No.
Oh, he the chosen one.
Right. She's special.
Man, what?
Like, it is so incredibly easy. Like, especially now that I'm in senior year. I mean, I'm not taking incredibly hard classes, but like, they don't even give you homework because they know you won't do it. Like, it's like they would rather have you pass than like teach you something. And like the amount of kids that held back is like nothing. Like, it's just, oh, keep going ahead, go ahead. And so like seeing like classrooms from like older generations, it seems like, oh, they're like learning, there's more respect to the teachers. Now like there's like such little discipline that every class is just like a muck.
I feel like just because things are easier does not mean it's better. My friend goes to college in San Diego, and there's literally a group chat for people in a nursing major just to cheat on the work. And if we're having nurses that don't even know how to like give you medicine, stuff like that, it's scary.
I did want to hit.
But like that's the whole thing that I don't understand. Okay, like you going to college. There are some professions that you gotta go to school for. Like I totally agree with that. Nursing, yes. Being a lawyer, yes. Being in politics, yes. But like as far as being an engineer, no.
Yeah, I feel like trade school is like a 50-50. Because you can have a really good trade job and just skip the process of college.
Yeah.
You can start during your senior year of trade school, and like when you graduate, you have a good trade job.
Explore my sexuality. 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know what that is.
I knew I was gay at a very young age. So I've kind of always been ready, or kind of always known. Like, I was over here at like 6 years old, like looking at a TV screen, and there's like a boy, and I was like, he's cute. Like, I was like, yeah, I already knew. So like, I feel like it just depends what you determine what exploring your sexuality is, because at least in my book, I feel like I've already labeled it, and I'm already confident and happy with who I am.
Now it's very normal to explore yourself, and I think even just like having sex is very, very naive for any adult or anyone to ignore the fact that like people are gonna do that. Like it's or people around you are gonna do that. They're gonna talk about it, or you're gonna see it on TV.
People are not gonna do that.
And I feel like in general, like you don't have to. I'm gonna say you don't have to, but like you can still have sex and not explore your sexuality.
I agree. Because there's other activities you can do, like on the phone or like texting and everything. For real, honestly. Yeah. Because it just like I think what they are thinking, like when they think the word sexuality, they probably think of just like, and then like that's not really the okay. So, like you can like talk or like have a nice conversation or like again. Talk on the phone or like texting whatnot, but like as far as like just doing that, I mean that's just something.
That's a sound.
Like we have access to everything these days. No one is judged like for waiting or wanting to try stuff, as long as everyone's being safe, as long as it's consensual, as long as you're okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
I also grew up in a very private Christian school. It was very like, it was like a bubble. you know, and you know, we didn't talk about all that stuff, but now I attend a high school where we actually have wellness classes. Also, social media helps. Those random accounts on my For You page, they're like, how to kiss a boy or something like that. I don't even know.
What is it, WikiHow?
WikiHow, sure. Like, there's so many.
He was struggling.
Wait,
dude.
no,
Oh
man,
my
like, no, but
God.
like, it's like, this is the whole thing. Like, okay, look, Jubilee, they just bring out the,
He just moved so silently. Like, he didn't even ask, can I move?
like, they are so indecisive, and that brings me to the first question. Yes, they're all kids.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, come on.
Forces, you know, that's why you got to seek them out and find a support system.
It's kind of like for our whole generation happening earlier and earlier, like where we get introduced to it with like the internet and stuff. I kind of like it to be delayed. I kind of like to be a kid for as long as I can.
But do you feel like people don't take you seriously if you continue to, you know, act younger and like want to be younger?
In the sense of like this question, like sexuality, like I feel like I'd rather, because right now it's like most of the pressure is just like, oh, I feel like I'm so behind because I haven't done this, and this yet, when it should be so normal.
It's important that we do educate.
Because like me personally, I'm like, I can still be a kid. I won't even care what you think about me. Like,
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, well, if they could talk about like, you know, X whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't do it until I was 18.
Yes, yeah.
So I mean, you know.
Educate ourselves on these topics because once we're older, if we aren't, that could take a turn for the worse. I feel like approaching it naturally or in a professional way, like in terms of like school, if they're providing like health classes, I think that's just the best way to go about it. And I completely agree with you. Like I was also exposed to nasty on the internet and like no one wants to go through that.
I don't think that the school should do it because I think it's really weird. You know, I can never stop laughing personally. Like when I'm in a sixth grader and they say the word scrotum, how are you not supposed to like laugh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's what brings back to them being kids. Because again, if you're not going to be mature enough to actually understand your own biological nature and everything, it's kind of a, you know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I slept through them classes. Like I was like, I know I'm not non-straight, or I'm just saying, I know I'm not gay.
Yeah.
I know I'm straight. I love women. I love the species of women, so I'm not gonna trip about it.
Yeah,
so that's why I just slept in them classes. I was like,
all right, guys, we really enjoyed the video today. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and share, and let us know in the comment section what y'all want us to react to next. Thank you so much for watching. This is Brown the Brown, and we will see you guys later on. Peace.